around 7:15. We see how it goes. So please go ahead.
Yes, hello. My name is Pedro Molina. I'm a postdoc at the Swiss Plasma Center in Switzerland. Thanks for this very interesting discussion. It's great to hear from all of you. I had, well, it's related to the questions that were discussed before. Just a thought recurring in my head that we see since the 60s, essentially, academia has focused on the tokamak, and recently we've seen a lot of discussion about accelerator as well. But these private companies that have emerged over the last 10 years or less are really trying to bring back some of these old concepts, such as some people here, like magnetic mirrors or FRCs or alternative ways to go about this. Essentially, to answer two of the comments that were mentioned in the panel, one which was cost, which was brought by Anna Belen, and also I think I forgot the name of the last speaker, but he also mentioned that we need to put the electricity on the grid faster, or as far as we can, and for this we need innovation. And the word innovation, I was wondering if it ever crossed the mind of the decision makers in terms of like the main academic institutions or the big labs, whether it's worth it to look at some of these alternatives, so that perhaps we can then read their papers in a more clear fashion, so that we can throw some of the understanding that we have developed in tokamaks and accelerators into some of these alternatives.
To evaluate these other concepts.
Right.
I mean, the US has this milestone program at the moment, and it's funding 8 different concepts, and part of the point of that is to have a review point at the end of it. Is that the sort of thing you're advocating for?
Yes, and I'm wondering if the European...
It sounds like a question for Ambrosio, some sort of European review of alternative concepts.
Well, we always have an open eye to what's going around, and we do review them. We understand, the pros and cons. We nevertheless want to focus on what's the fastest path to demo, which is at the moment the tokamak. Doesn't mean that the power plant will be a tokamak. We also have in our roadmap the accelerator as a potential alternative. It used to be sort of considered as a relatively remote insurance policy with the results and from Venice 7X and the theoretical developments. We heard this morning a wonderful talk. We're moving this up a little bit in priority to really explore the potential of the accelerator. We, of course, if something very important happens elsewhere that demonstrate breakthroughs on other concepts, we of course open to that, but we haven't seen it. And I don't know if we will. When you speak of a mirror, I think the idea is more of development of a volumetric neutron source, which is also something that we're looking at, including the possibility of using a mirror. But this is not really the ultimate power plant. So answer is yes, we're open to anything that goes around, but we want to focus and go as fast as possible along the path, which is slow enough as is.
I could add a comment from my perspective, having seen both sides. The European program is very focused, and that's commendable, I think, in that you do want to take something to fruition. The American program is very diverse, and so there are pluses and minuses there, but it's very ambitious. So, we're trying to find that spot in the middle, I think, on both sides. Brandon wanted to comment on this.
Yeah, I have 2 points. I can't speak to how the European community views this, but I guess from the private industry standpoint, I think there's kind of 2 parts. One of them is that actually, and this combines earlier answer from Gabriel about companies making products that can support other companies. I think this is a sort of a win for all situation if the companies that are sort of, the larger ones that are more funded can also develop technology that can be used in alternative concepts. And so an example is that really exciting. We've developed magnets for Wisconsin. So Wisconsin has a mirror concept called WHAM. We actually have a team out there right now installing 2 17 Tesla N-cell magnets on that we built as part of a public-private partnership with that group. And so it helped everybody because it helps them, because they wouldn't by themselves been able to stand up a whole development program to make those magnets. But because we had done that already and we put a lot of money into that, we were able to take that technology and use it to support that program. The second part, I think that's been said before, but just to keep harping on that, is I think forcing a public evaluation of when people do have concepts. I do think that there should be some, like you mentioned, Richard, in the milestone program, people have to publish. And so I think part of this has to be that the community, the private community, looking at new innovations has to be open and share the results with everybody.
Thank you very much. Gentleman at the back there.
Hi, this is Raul Zarru, MIT postdoc.